A New York Times best-selling self-help book, Genius Foods, was written by filmmaker Max Lugavere, whose life changed after his mother was diagnosed with rare dementia. He decided to take a break in his filmmaking career to explore everything that he could about the brain and how it works. He spent years interviewing medical doctors, reading brain research, scientists, and neurologists. Through years of research, he discovered an important link between cognitive health and diet. In an attempt to uncover the facts related to food, through his book Genius Foods, Lugavere teaches readers how to cure brain fogginess, anxiety, and depression, while also decreasing your risk for diseases like Alzheimer's, ALS, and Parkinson's through simple diet and exercise. He shares what he learned about the foods we eat and how they affect how we perform every day, and teaches people how to protect their brains for life. Here are the top 7 lessons from Max Lugavere's book Genius Foods. Lesson 1. Know the importance of diet for your brain health. When thinking about the human brain, you might be one of those who are convinced that the brain's development eventually stops. But actually, our brain is the most powerful organ in our body, and it even improves over time. When scientists tried to simulate just a second of the human brain's abilities, it took 40 minutes for a supercomputer to do so. Unfortunately, our current lifestyles are holding back our brains from functioning to their fullest potential. Author Max Lugavere sought to research brain health when his mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease as early as 58 years old. With countless doctor's visits, Lugavere still hasn't gotten the answers he needed, so he dedicated himself to researching how environmental factors affected brain health. Throughout his research, he discovered the importance of diet and lifestyle are to brain function. For example, Deakin University's Food and Mood Center revealed how even major depression might be treated through a change in diet. Participants cut fried food, sugar, and processed meats from their diet, while adding vegetables, nuts, whole grains, olive oil, legumes, fish, and lean red meat. The experiment showed that their depressive thoughts had dramatically reduced. Lesson 2. Learn about the benefits of oils and fats. Which ones should we be consuming for optimal brain health when it comes to oils? Extra virgin olive oil, EVOO, possesses a compound called oleocanthal, which has powerful anti-inflammatory effects, comparable to taking a small dose of ibuprofen. Inflammation affects our brain's ability to develop throughout our lives, and it can even cause depression. Many people who consume these kinds of oils experience a lower incidence of Alzheimer's disease, largely because of the oleocanthal compound. While extra virgin olive oil has anti-inflammatory benefits, there are certainly many other foods that possess similar properties. However, since the demonization of fat that began in the 1950s, the public have become misinformed about which fats are harmful and which fats are good for consumption. Lesson 3. Be informed about aging toxins. One of the problems introduced in our modern diet is the number of refined sugar and carbohydrates, which are now added to everything, including juices, condiments, crackers, and soft drinks. No matter how much we try to avoid these sources of carbohydrates, food manufacturers are masterfully disguising them in our foods. In fact, Robert Lustig has identified 56 unique terms used in place of added sugar, including cane juice, fructose, malt, maltodextrin, dextrose, honey, sucrose, maple syrup, coconut sugar, molasses, brown rice syrup, fruit juice, agave syrup, lactose, glucose solids, barley malt, and corn syrup. So what's the harm in these sugars? Sugar sticks to your insides and can't simply be washed off. This process is called glycation. Lesson 4. Learn the truth about carbs. You've probably heard the terms bad carbs and good carbs, right? We associate bad carbs with foods like confectionery bakery products like cakes and cookies. However, how often do we choose wheat bread over white bread because we believe wheat to be healthier? We might even find ourselves choosing to cook brown rice over white rice. Lugavere found himself falling into this trap as well, and believing that whole grains like quinoa, wheat, and brown rice were healthy. However, he noticed that his energy levels and food cravings were similar to that of a roller coaster throughout the day, despite opting for the healthier alternative. Lesson 5. Know about the benefits of cholesterol. You've likely heard from someone to avoid foods that are high in cholesterol and saturated fats, right? Well, it turns out that's all a myth. It was concluded by Dr. Ronald Krauss, a top nutrition expert in the United States, that there is no significant evidence for concluding that dietary saturated fat is associated with an increased risk of CVD, cardiovascular disease, or CHD, coronary heart disease. Cholesterol, in fact, is a vital nutrient for our brain. That is why 25% of the body's total cholesterol content can be found there. Lesson 6. Know how fasting helps our brains. Ketones are one of the most efficient forms of fuel for our brain, and to put our body into ketosis, we should cycle between fasting and feasting. The idea of fasting and feasting is far from new. In fact, almost every major religion has its version of fasting protocol. Basically, these ancient traditions and religious practices understood the psychological effects of fasting long before the benefits were proven by science. Lesson 7. Learn about fiber and gut health. Prebiotic fibers metabolize and then transform into chemicals called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs, like acetate, butyrate, and propionate, all of which have many health-promoting effects. Butyrate, for instance, is a very desirable fatty acid because it has been shown to promote neurodegenerative and neuroplasticity processes. But most importantly, butyrate is known to reduce inflammation, which means you can focus, think more clearly, and remember things better. In conclusion, the Genius Plan emphasizes certain foods that are in a ketogenic diet. These include avocados, blueberries, extra virgin olive oil, dark chocolate, grass-fed beef, eggs, dark leafy greens, and broccoli. Almonds and wild salmon are also emphasized in the diet. People who wish to improve their brain function can boost it by consuming healthy foods. Having enough sleep is also very necessary, and practicing intermittent fasting for long-term benefits. The Genius Plan has immediate results with lasting benefits for anyone interested in improving their brain health. Are you interested in keeping your brain healthy? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my new content. You can also get a free copy of the audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time.